Welcome to Silicon Valley, a place where the ordinary turns into the extraordinary, where bold ideas don't just exist, they become global revolutions. Nestled in Northern California, it's more than a geographical location. It's a living, breathing rhythm of innovation. It's a mindset, a culture, a way of life that challenges the impossible and thrives on the edge of what's next. Here, innovation rises with the sun. In the early morning light, you'll find visionaries sketching ideas on whiteboards, engineers debugging lines of code in cafes, and entrepreneurs pitching startups in co-working spaces. From sunlit campuses of tech giants to basement labs in small apartments, someone is always building something new. The very air feels different. It hums with code, crackles with creativity, and carries the unshakable belief that with enough passion and perseverance, anything is possible. This is the birthplace of the microchip, the personal computer, the smartphone, the social network, and now, artificial intelligence. Ideas born here don't stay here. They reach across oceans, shape industries, and redefine lives around the world. This is not just the heart of technology, it's the cradle of a new era. This is Silicon Valley, where the future isn't found, it's made. It all began in 1939. Inside a modest one-car garage at 367 Addison Avenue in Palo Alto, there are two young engineers, Bill Hewlett and Dave Packard, driven by curiosity, creativity, and a shared passion for innovation. Built an audio oscillator on a simple workbench. What started as a side project with just $538 in capital would go on to become Hewlett-Packard, or HP, one of Silicon Valley's first great tech companies. But they weren't alone. Just down the road, Stanford University was nurturing a new kind of thinking, one that combined academic rigor with hands-on experimentation. Professors urged students to tinker, to question, to build. Ideas weren't meant to stay in classrooms, they were meant to take flight. As the decades passed, the valley evolved. The invention of the transistor, the rise of the semiconductor industry, and the birth of the integrated circuit lit the spark that ignited a technological revolution. It didn't happen overnight, but step by step, garage by garage, chip by chip, this once quiet stretch of California farmland transformed into something extraordinary, a cradle of innovation, a magnet for dreamers, and the birthplace of a digital age. This was the dawn of Silicon Valley. By the late 1990s, Silicon Valley had transformed from a quiet regional tech cluster into a global epicenter of innovation. The world was watching, and the valley delivered. Steve Jobs returned to Apple, bringing with him not just visionary leadership, but a renaissance in design and user experience. The launch of the iPhone would soon redefine not just the smartphone, but how we live, work, and connect. At the same time, Google was reimagining access to knowledge. With a single search bar, it changed how we find information, explore ideas, and navigate the digital universe. Then came Facebook, a social experiment that turned into a worldwide phenomenon. With a few clicks, we were suddenly more connected than ever, blurring borders and reshaping communication itself. Intel, the quiet powerhouse, kept pushing the boundaries of processing speed and possibility, one chip at a time, laying the foundation for everything from laptops to supercomputers. The garages of the past had given way to sprawling, glass-clad campuses, temples of technology that stood as monuments to possibility. But these weren't just companies. They were movements, missions, symbols of a revolution. They sparked ambition across the globe, inspiring a new generation to dream bigger, code harder, and believe in the power of the impossible. What truly sets Silicon Valley apart isn't just its staggering wealth, cutting-edge technology, or sleek campuses. It's the mindset, a startup mindset, a culture built on bold risk, relentless curiosity, and the belief that failure isn't defeat, it's data. Here, failing fast isn't a flaw, it's fuel. It means you're learning, adapting, iterating. In co-working spaces, garages, and late-night Zoom calls, young teams hustle, driven by coffee, passion, and a vision to disrupt the status quo. Some of the most iconic names of our time, Airbnb, Uber, Tesla, Stripe, Zoom, didn't start as giants. They began as ideas on napkins, slides in pitch decks, hopes backed by grit. Venture capitalists, many of whom were once founders themselves, now place bold bets on dreamers, not just for profit, but for the thrill of discovering the next big thing. This is a place where people don't wait for permission, they build without it. Where a single line of code can scale into $1 billion business. This is Silicon Valley, where unicorns are born, where legends are made, and where the future is always one breakthrough away. Silicon Valley's influence no longer stops at California's borders. It now stretches across the entire globe. Its apps live in our pockets. Its platforms power our work meetings, store our memories, shape our conversations, even our relationships. From remote learning to digital payments, from ride-sharing to AI-powered assistants. Much of modern life now runs on infrastructure that was dreamed up right here. But with great power came great complexity. As tech giants grew, so did the concerns. Data privacy became a global issue. Inequality widened. Gentrification transformed neighborhoods, while the cost of living soared, forcing out many of the very innovators who helped build the valley's spirit. Then came deeper questions about algorithmic bias, mental health, automation, and the human cost of constant connectivity. The valley, once a symbol of limitless promise, began to face a reckoning. And now, a vital question hangs in the air. Can innovation evolve? Can it be more inclusive, more ethical, more human? Can the engines of disruption also become the architects of a better world for everyone? Today, Silicon Valley stands at the edge of a bold new frontier, a place where artificial intelligence is advancing at lightning speed, reshaping industries and redefining possibility. But it's no longer just about building apps or optimizing clicks. Now, startups are tackling the world's most urgent challenges, from climate change and clean energy to biotech breakthroughs, space exploration, and ethical innovation. A new generation of coders, tinkerers, and social entrepreneurs is rising, driven not just by the pursuit of profit, but by the power of purpose. The tools are smarter, faster, more powerful than ever, but so are the questions being asked. Can technology heal the planet instead of harm it? Can it bridge the divide between privilege and poverty? Can innovation transform not just markets, but humanity itself? This is the new spirit.